Hello everyone, Pallytime here, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3. It has been far too long, but we are starting a new campaign today. And which difficulty shall we play on? I think I can take it. I would like to introduce you to Dungen, my Duergar Bard for this playthrough. Duergar gained the ability of seeing in the dark up to 80 feet, and Duergar Resilience gives them advantage on saving throws against illusions and being charmed or paralyzed. Our starting cantrips are going to be Friends as well as Minor Illusion. Our spells are Sleep, Tasha's Hideous Laughter, Healing Word, and Thunderwave. Starting instrument is going to be the flute this time, with a background of an alkaloid. And here are our stats. 8 strength, 16 dexterity, 14 constitution, 10 intelligence, 10 wisdom, and ending off with 16 charisma. Notice, no disgusting odd numbers. That's good, I like that. For our skills, we are really good at intimidation, performance, and persuasion. Hey, handsome. Where are you going? Hey! I know you see me! Get me out of here! Get me out of here! Oh, is that all I had to do the whole time? Look at that handsome Duergar right there. As we mentioned for this playthrough, we are playing on honor mode difficulty. What that means is if our characters die in combat, if we have a full party wipe, the video game deletes our save file and we can no longer progress. To add to that, everything is based off of the Tactician difficulty, a difficulty of which we have not played on this channel yet. So fights that I think I know will have added twists and turns throughout the entire game. I believe also on this difficulty, enemies start to have legendary resistances and a whole can of worms that we're going to discover together. I do, however, think Dungen will be ready for the challenge. As a bard, we're one of the most versatile characters in the world, and we did have a bard in our party in the last playthrough. We had Astarion as our bard. Don't you worry, our build is going to be nothing like that. Also, if we do have a party wipe, if I do lose my save file...
The parasite now writhing behind your eye.
Oh, I don't think I knew we could click on this. If I do lose my save file, I'll just stream it on Twitch and we'll power through the game again. Like, I'm committing to getting the golden dice, which is the reward you get for completing honor mode. I want to have it. So I'm going to try to investigate the pool. The Duergar used to be enslaved by the Mind Flayers, if memory serves. So I imagine I would have quite the grudge against these tentacle faces, just kind of like the Githyanki do. We have a 10 investigation, our first roll of the game. Okay, is that really the note we're starting on, Dungen?
It's the eye.
That sucks. Reach towards the pool. You know what? I'm not gonna do that. Imagine losing your honor mode run in the very first room. Oh my goodness. By the way, if this is anyone's first series that you're watching, I try to treat all of these the same. So, you know, you don't have to watch our other playthroughs to have an idea of what's going on in this game. If this is your first time stopping in, say hello down in the comments. We have a great community here, full of very helpful and friendly people.
Yeah.
Well, how about our second roll of the game?
Yes, you've come to save us from this place. From this place, you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers
perception.
in expectation. You realize you're talking to an intellect devourer, a minion of the Mind Flayers who abducted you.
Please. Before they return. They return.
Now, clearly, we do have a Duergar option here. Kill the Mind Flayer slave before the corruption spreads. Oh, isn't that just the most wholesome welcome to the game you could ever hope for? Something I've never noticed before. There's a goblin on the table here. Anything in their body? Just one gold piece and some illicit records.
Images of goblins, their habits and histories flash into your mind.
So clearly the Mind Flayers are at least interacting with the goblins in some way.
A schematic of a nautiloid flashes into your mind. Nerves, sinews, as much living being as ship.
What about the rest of these? I don't think I can reach that one. Stubby little dwarf arms. Or that one. Let's head outside. What a view! The Red Dragons of Tiamat! You love to see it. Well, looks like there's another entryway over here. I'll start walking towards it. Oh, that was very acrobatic.
Abomination. This is your end.
No, this is my beginning!
Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
Oh. My head. What is this?
I was gonna ask you!
Skvar. You are no thrall.
Well, that's right, I'm Dungen.
Blackith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
Thank you for putting that sword away. We need to figure out where we are.
We can do nothing until we escape. That must be our priority. First, we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. We will address the matter of a cure for this infection once we reach the material plane.
They did such a good job of making this so much more, like, intense since early access. So much more cinematic. Well, we have shared initiative at the start, although it looks like Lae'zel went a little bit faster than me. Dungan's going to start off combat with the sleep spell, and we're just going to target all 3 imps. Sleep has a pretty good chance of working as long as their HP is low, and it looks like all of the imps hear the lullaby of our flute. This is going to allow Lae'zel to basically get critical hits on every single target here. She moves forward with a swing of 13 against the first imp, and then we are just going to end both of our turns right there. Lae'zel swings again on the next imp and then moves into position for an attack of opportunity on the third. Dungen is going to continue playing as Lae'zel chops off the final imp's head.
You proved surprisingly adequate in battle.
Surprisingly adequate, she says. Literally all Dungen did was play his flute, but that was enough for Lae'zel. You love to see it. I've looted all of the bodies in the room that I could, grabbed a couple extra health potions and a few scraps of gold, nothing too crazy. These restoration tentacles on the side count as a long rest for our entire party. So I'm able to go over there and basically get my spell slot back, so we're able to cast sleep 2 more times. The way forward involves climbing on this weird goopy mesh, but I believe this area is going to lead us to a control room. Now, funny enough, most of the companions in the game will not stick around for the storyline that we have planned for this run. However, Lae'zel here and someone here in this room might be persuaded to see it through to the end of the game.
You! Get me out of this damn thing!
We have no time for stragglers.
That means I'm gonna have to let her out, is where I'm going for this. Look for a latch that might be able to open the lid.
Construction is too alien. Nothing looks familiar.
This ship is crashing. Do you intend to die for a stranger?
It's pointless, you're stuck. I hate that that's the Duergar option. What if I say that and then do the opposite? I feel like that's getting off on the wrong foot. I'll look around. There must be a way to get this thing open, and we need your help.
Try that contraption next to the pod. They did something to it when they sealed me in. Hurry! Please!
I'm much more Githyanki in opinion than I was expecting to be. Very interesting. If we head to the east, there is another chamber in here. Another one of the intellect devourers is trying to move through. We're gonna fire off our shot. He has a lot of HP though. He moves up to Dungen and misses his attack. Now, Dungen is at disadvantage here because he's firing a ranged weapon very close to an enemy. So what we're going to do is move forward with Lae'zel, do that swing, and then Lae'zel's going to try and push the Intellect Devourer away.
Another fight.
Unfortunately, that did not work out very well. Oh. Interesting. On honor mode, can you not attack before combat? Because I don't have another action. Oh, that's definitely going to make things more difficult. Definitely. Lae'zel takes 7 damage, which is over half of her HP in a single swing. But Dungen lands a pretty good attack there. Now, if we wanted to rest, we could get most of Lae'zel's HP back. I also have a healing spell available here. Healing Word can be cast at range to help our allies out in a pinch.
Moving in.
I will, however, I have no plans of being our dedicated healer. That was Astarion's role as a bard in my last party. Like I said, we're going to be playing a very, very different role here. Is this another person that we can help?
A dazed woman is trapped inside the pod. She doesn't notice you.
Okay. Well, save me the trouble then. Next to a chest here, we have a slave mind in a jar. Gross. Also, a dead thrall at the end of the path does have an eldritch rune. A strange energy buzzes through this alien object. You are sure you've never seen anything like it, yet part of you recognizes it as a component of some bigger machine.
But for what?
Well, what happens if I push this button here? Place your hand on the console.
As you place your hand on the pod, you hear something. A presence connected to the pod, commanding the person inside to change.
Change into what? Whoa! Oh, that's not good.
Change her. Changed at the pull of a lever. How? If we are not purified, this may be our fate.
Well, let's get purified as fast as we can. That thing is alive and well. I'm definitely not going to touch that Mind Flayer pot again. What about our friend in the next room, though? Is that going to be the same thing that happens to her? Well, I guess either way, she's locked in there, so it's no harm to me.
The console appears dormant.
There's a socket in this console, shaped like the rune that you found.
The console hums to life. But what is its purpose? Will it free the captive, or transform her like that other unfortunate?
Maybe we can pass the Arcana check. I'm not super familiar with magical objects. It's going to need a 10. We roll a... Oh, Dungen. Dungen! How have you rolled 2? What? We've only had 3 rolls.
Nothing in the appearance of the device betrays its purpose. It could do anything. It could even transform the occupant of the pod, like what happened before.
Well, place my hand on the console.
Suddenly, you feel a hideous squirming in your head. The parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
Dungen suddenly feels the parasite in his mind connecting. I'm going to will the parasite to use this console to open up the pod. Maybe. We need a 2. All right, we did it. Yeah, that's a 50-50 on us passing rolls now.
Feel the biomechanical brain of the console process your command and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
Graceful as always. Hey, are you okay? She said she thought she was done for. Not with Dungen around.
I thought that damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
You feel her gratitude, but also guardedness. And above all, a will to survive.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
My head.
I'm getting out of here. Follow me if you can keep up, okay?
Trust me. I'll keep up.
Well, great. Let's get going. I'm Dungen. Pleasure to meet you.
Shadowheart. One moment.
What is that you have there? I wonder. Come on, let's go.
Let us make for the helm. We've wasted enough time already.
She's right. Lead on.
There are more people in this room that are unconscious. Should we try to help them?
Life flickers in his eyes, but he seems totally unaware of his surroundings.
Okay. Is this something where...
The man isn't dead, but he's totally unresponsive.
What if I push another button? Oh. Oh. Well, we'll just put them back to sleep with a lullaby. Actually, the other one's immune to sleep. Very odd. Shadowheart with her shield is going to push forward towards the one that cannot be put to sleep and just try to crowd them. If they move towards us, she will get an attack of opportunity. The one on the ground will quickly lose their head as Lae'zel moves in with a swing. And once again, we're just going to kind of bully this guy in the corner. We see a poison AoE come out as his cantrip. Dungan's going to fire off a crossbow shot with his hand crossbow, hitting him right in the heart and taking him down. Any loot? Hey, we got a candle. Good find, girls. Now, in order to proceed, we need to make our way through the southern sphincter. There is one more restoration tentacle thing that we could use, and a dark mind jar here on this desk. We got the key for this on one of the bodies in the previous room. I think it was this guy right here. And you never know when you need a good chest, so I'm going to pick that up and bring that with me.
Oh, cursed to put my hands on everything.
He says that as he touches a sphincter. Okay, before we move into the final part of the tutorial, we are going to need to make sure that Shadowheart has the command spell. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on her bar. We'll swap out the Shield of Faith for now. She has 2 spell casts, and we're going to try to use them to get a very good weapon. Now, if we don't get it, that's completely fine. We'll figure out what to do as we approach that road.
Once inside, do as I say.
Who put you in charge? I'll trust my own judgment.
Are you two fighting already? We didn't have to save you, elf.
Swift as my
Lae'zel's been nothing but nice to me. I mean, other than jumping over me and pulling out a weapon. But that was just a misunderstanding. Ooh. Do you think demon brains taste different than human brains? Bro, imps really don't do that much damage. That guy must have been beat up.
Nerves of the transponder. We must escape. Now.
All right, is this our first real
We'll
test
deal
for
with the
honor
death
mode?
after we escape.
Okay, Commander Zulk on the western side of this room takes 2 big swings at the only remaining Mind Flayer in here. That weapon in his hands is one of the best in the game for a little bit, and I would very much like to have it. However, we have some obstacles we have to get by first. In front of us, a lesser Hellboar as well as a lesser imp, and another ranged imp to the north. Dungen, Lae'zel, and Shadowheart are all going at the same time here. So Dungan's going to shoot off a hand crossbow bolt at the imp on the left side. As he does that, Lae'zel is going to fly forward and swing onto the Hellboard, dealing 11 damage and taking him down. Shadowheart then begins to move forward, and we will see a Sacred Flame. This is a cantrip, so it's not going to use one of our spell slots. Cast on the Lesser Imp on the northern side of the room. Sacred Flame never connects because Shadowheart's stats suck. We are going to walk forward with Dungen and have our entire party end relatively close to one another. Mind Blast on the commander is going to stun him. That's huge for us. Saves us a bit of time at the very least, or gives us a bit more time at the very least. Dungen, once again, is going to walk forward. He was outside of his range there a little bit, but now we should have a clear shot onto the Imp, dealing 6 damage. He's got 1 more HP. Lae'zel also has a ranged weapon. Let's see if she can fire that off effectively. 85% chance to hit. We do as the Imp goes down. Our party continues to move forward. Shadowheart is not going to cast anything just yet. We're just going to keep marching forward. Another 14 damage. Okay, he's definitely not winning the fight, but he is fighting back at the very least. Here we go. Attempt number 1. We are going to command the general, the commander, to drop their weapon. It's a coin flip. Are we feeling lucky? Nope. Okay, he's saved. We'll keep moving. We want to make sure we don't go too far, but it looks like we're A-okay here. Now, I don't believe the commander will attack us. I think he's going to stay on target, fighting the Mind Flayer. Good. Because, I mean, that would be a one-shot, right? Like, we literally can't deal with that damage. Shadowheart's going to try one more time to command the guy to drop his weapon. Last chance. Oh! Not enough movement to get the blade. I don't believe you. Steal it. How is that not enough move? You're right there. Oh, she has to move to the other side? Well, even so, you're right there. Fantastic. Good job, Shadowheart. You've done everything you need to do. Now leave the rest up to us. Lae'zel is going to use Dash to increase her movement speed. Make sure she's holding her melee weapon as well. Just, you know, attack of opportunity might come up. And we're going to move 2 steps forward. I got really lucky with that. I was closer to the line than I thought.
Hurry, before they strike.
We have new opponents dropping in front of us, and this is where Dungen steps up yet again. With the play of his flute, he is going to try to put all of these targets to sleep. Once again, successfully doing it, might I add. We're going to play our song, and Lae'zel is going to sprint forward towards the console to get us out of here. Hey, this is like literally going as well as it possibly could. Very good start to our campaign. That feels good. Dungan's going to move forward just to play his lute over here. And then, as he ends his turn, Lae'zel makes her way towards the transponder and presses the button.
The helm's alien transponder. You've made it in time.
I've never seen any character but our own in that cutscene. That's kind of neat. Ah! I swear that gets me every time. Well, I've had worse landings. That wasn't that bad.
As you wake, the tadpole squirms in your skull.
Check yourself for injuries.
Other than the infection, you're more or less intact. A miracle, given everything you've been through, but it'll all be for nothing if you don't find help soon. The tadpole is a death sentence, and the clock is ticking. You need a cure.
Well, first things first, we're gonna need to gather our party. I do not want to go in alone. Hey, look who landed next to us! Oh, that weird thing's in her hands again. Hey, wake up!
You're alive. I'm alive. How is this possible?
Perhaps it was some dramatically timed divine intervention.
The divine tend to keep their interventions close to the chest. Though, I suppose it's not impossible.
Do you have any idea where we are? I mean, I'm from the Underdark.
No, I don't recognize this place. But anything's an improvement on where we just came from. First things first, we need supplies, shelter, and most of all, a healer. We might have escaped, but we still have these little monsters in our heads.
What happened to our good friend? Did you see where she landed?
You might want to reconsider calling her a friend. Looks like she ran off without us.
Hey, don't jump to assumptions. You want to stay together, I take it?
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
All right, well, let's get moving.
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that.
I'm gonna be honest, that was my first thought. I was like, I'm a Duergar, I should leave you here.
On my way.
But I talked myself out of it. Well, look at that. We already have a companion by our side. Now, because we are playing on tactician difficulty with the, the added otter mode, we are going to have to consume more food every time we camp. I don't know if that's going to be a big deal for me, but I noticed on our last playthrough, I kind of got out of the habit of looting everything. So I'm going to try to rectify that just to make sure that we are prepared enough for each night at our camp. Make sure we don't have to starve or do anything like that. If you don't free Shadowheart from her Mind Flayer pod, she actually shows up right here in front of this door to the north, trying to gain entry to this area. But unfortunately, this door is very, very locked. On the western wall here, we see an ancient sigil. This is used to teleport around. This is basically our fast travel point and allows us to move around the map very, very quickly. I don't have any bonuses in sleight of hand, so that's not going to be my job. In fact, I may not be very good at lockpicking throughout this whole playthrough. We might have to make some adjustments to my plan. Oh, more intellect devourers up ahead. It looks like we're about to have our first conflict outside of the nautiloid. If you press tab, you can highlight, or tilde, you can highlight the enemies of an area just to make them a little bit easier to see. It looks like this fight is pretty normal so far. It's what I would expect. There's not more enemies or anything just yet. They probably have more HP, but we can figure that out. Sleep only works on a maximum of 24 hit points, so I don't think we'll be able to put these guys to sleep. But let's see how this goes. We have advantage attacking from stealth. We're going to fire off our hand crossbow shot onto the intellect devourer beneath us. Now we cannot shoot again, so I will end my turn. Shadowheart is not in combat just yet, so she's going to fire off a Shadow Bolt. Do you really have to move over there to do that? What if, oh, she doesn't have a hand crossbow at all. There we go. We just needed a slightly better angle. We have advantage on that as well. It does 4 damage to the closest Intellect Devourer. And we're going to end her turn. Now Dungan's going to fire off another shot at the same Devourer, connecting for 6 and taking them down. This is now a 2 versus 2 fight. We did have a surprise round, but just took half of our HP in damage. Luckily, the Intellect Devourer did miss Shadowheart. I am going to cast Sleep immediately. Oh, too many hit points. Let me fire off another shot. 95% chance to land. Critical hit. I'm glad I did it. And then, can I break line of sight? Is that possible? It looks like they may not. No, they'll be able to see me there. I'm just going to take a few steps back, and we will end our turn. Trying to make Shadowheart the easier option for them to attack there if I can. We are going to use Healing Word on Dungen, I think. Although this is already kind of sketchy, isn't it? Good lord. Let's use a healing potion. That took my bonus action. She doesn't have a main action heal. So I need to attack. Sacred Flame has a 50% chance. Firebolt has a 90% chance. Let's try to end the lower health one. Which we do. Okay. We're going to leave Shadowheart there. She takes 3 more damage from the Intellect Devourer in the center of the room. Dungan's going to move up and fire off another crossbow bolt. Connecting for 10 damage, another critical hit. And then we're just going to step back and hopefully end this conflict with another firebolt.
You fight well.
Oh, why was that so close? Okay, we're going to level up really fast. So as a bard hitting level 2, we gain the feature of Jack of all trades, which is going to just make us better at every out-of-combat role in the game. We also have a Song of Rest, and we gain a new spell slot. For right now, I think Fairy Fire would be a good pickup for us. Bards, when they level up, do have the option of replacing a spell. And I think Fairy Fire might be one that we dropped later in the game, or maybe even sleep later in the game. But for right now, that'll be our concentration. It'll give everyone in our party advantage on attack rolls on anyone that we land Fairy Fire on. And that should be a nice, welcomed addition to our arsenal. Shadowheart does finally have another slot for prepared spells, so Cure Wound is back on the table. She doesn't have to pick anything, a very easy level up, but we do gain the divine action of Turn Undead, the channel divinity action. So if we find ourselves surrounded by skeletons, that will be a very useful tool. We're going to go ahead and short rest to get back some of our HP, and I'll loot this room really fast. And what do we have here? An alive Mind Flayer, trapped underneath some rubble in front of us. Dungen approaches.
The dying monster. This is the thing that abducted you. You could end its life here and now, if only you didn't feel compassion.
What?
Compassion.
This isn't random. No, I should be furious. I hate Githyanki.
Yes, you feel hate.
Mind Flayers. I love Githyanki.
Punished for it. You should be whipped, made to bow before this creature in shame. It's possessing your mind, forcing you to love it. But then the feeling slips. The creature's mind seems to focus elsewhere.
Concentrate on its thoughts? That's an intelligence check. Take advantage of its lapse and break free. I'm just gonna try.
The monster lies exhausted, defeated. Its eyes, wet orange pearls, radiate malice.
Close those eyes forever. I don't think I'd be very good at passing that intelligence check. And down he goes.
Monster. Death is too good for it.
Someone is calling for help to the southwest. What do you need?
Hurry. I've got one of those brain things cornered.
Oh, I just killed one. Great.
In the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
Easily. Stand back. Let Dungen work.
There. Can you see it?
That's not a brain thing. Ah!
Shh. Not a sound. Not if you want to keep that darling neck of yours. And you, keep your distance. No need for this to get messy.
I need him alive. Stow that blade, or I'll show you just how messy things can get.
Promises, promises. But I have other business, I'm afraid. Now, I saw you on the ship, didn't I? Nod?
You want me to nod? All right, I'm gonna headbutt the elf. Oh, 14 check. Let's see if we do it. -1 to our strength. We're gonna need a good roll, and we got it. 17. How's that for a nod? He dropped the blade.
Your mind twists. You're looking out of unfamiliar eyes, prowling dark, busy streets. You try to hold the memory, but it fades to the worm. The light, the fear.
What was that? What's going on?
Put that knife away, and I'll tell you everything.
I'm not an idiot. It has to be those tentacled monsters. Something they did. They took you too. I saw it during whatever just happened. And to think, I was ready to decorate the ground with your innards. Apologies.
I will not. You better have more to offer than apologies. I'm not gonna let that go. You tried to cut my throat.
I'm out of wine and flowers, so I hope an introduction will suffice. My name's Astarion. I was in Baldur's Gate when those beasts snatched me.
I'm just gonna nod. I'm still very standoffish here.
The strong and silent type. All right. Please tell me you at least know something about these worms.
You know as much as I do.
I suppose it's not exactly common knowledge. These worms are already affecting me. I can feel it. Now, what to do about it?
What's your plan exactly?
Well, getting out of here for a start. Then finding anyone who knows about these worms. I need an expert. Someone who knows how to control these things.
Control them? Wouldn't you want these gone?
Well, yes, of course. But first things first.
Well, as much as I hate you already, I need company for the road.
You know, I was ready to go this alone. But maybe sticking with the herd isn't such a bad idea. And you seem like a useful person to know. All right. I accept. Lead on.
And our party gets a little bigger. I have to say, that wasn't the best first impression, Astarion. Rogue level 2 gives him cunning actions. This means he can use hide, dash, and disengage as a bonus action instead of a full action in combat. I'm intentionally avoiding going too close to that portal over there. But what are these tiefling up to? Wait a minute, who do you have in that cage?
Of course it... Zoru was right. Yellow as a toad and twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
Your skull pounds in response to the prisoner's white-hot stare. Her lips don't move, yet you hear her voice.
Get rid of them. Holy hells! Underdwarf.
Hi.
Lay tight, Naimissa.
What? If you value your life, you will walk away. That's so rude. I can't believe they did that. We only need a 5 here. We will take the guidance, and we will take friends. We have advantage on this roll. Good. Ended up rolling up to a 17 with all of our bonuses.
Come, Emissa. Now.
Yeah, that's right. You get out of here.
Enough gawking. Get me down.
Now that they're out of earshot, sure. Well, they're not quite out of earshot yet, are they? So, the Friends cantrip does say that on higher difficulties, they may notice that you have enchanted them. However, this guy's walking away, so it doesn't look like that's going to be an issue for us. Dungen moves forward and uses his hand crossbow yet again to fire off a bolt at the weakened base of the cage that Lae'zel is being held in.
The tadpole hasn't yet scrambled all your senses. Auspicious. But the longer we wait, the more it consumes. My people possess the cure for this infection. I must find a creche. You will join me.
Careful. She obviously sees your kindness as weakness. Don't let her take advantage.
You know, a simple thank you wouldn't go amiss.
You may as well suggest a wyvern bow to worms. The cure I offer will suffice as thanks.
You know, she's got a good point, I gotta be honest. And what exactly is the creche? I mean, I clearly know. I'm so well-traveled. But this elf may not.
It is many things. A hatchery, a training grounds, a shelter.
Githyanki protocol is clear. When infected with a Gaith tadpole, we must report to Augustil for purification.
Well, all right, we'll journey together. Let's find your creche.
You have made an ally from Creche Kalir. Few know such fortune. Call me Lae'zel.
I'll trust your judgment, but I won't trust her. Not until I've gotten the measure of her.
You've a sharp tongue, elf. Would that your mind proved its equal.
Half elf. I suppose the finer details are lost on a creature like you.
Come. The Horned Ones mentioned a camp. One there, this Zoru, has seen Githyanki. A creche must be near. We will ask this Zoru where he has seen my kin.
That sounds like a great plan. Lae'zel joins our party. And as she hits level 2, as a fighter, she is going to gain access to Action Surge. This lets her take 2 attacks in a single turn, and that's going to come back on a short rest. There's a good synergy in our party already because I'm a bard. We have a song of short rest, so we have 1 more per day. We actually don't have any right now. So we can use that song of short rest as a means of not only restoring health, but also giving us back some of those once per rest actions.
I hear shouting up ahead.
As we make our way to the north, we hear shouting up ahead.
Be careful.
And the final battle of this video is about to commence.
Open the bloody gate!
Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders!
That pack of goblins will be on us any second!
What's going on?
Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Zevlor, now! You let goblins here? Where is the Druid? Please! There's no time!
By the 9 hells! Open the gate!
Ooh, ooh!
Cannon! No!
Shit! Form a line!
Damnable roach! Provoke the blade!
Ah!
And suffer its sting.
That's such a cool intro, dude. Will is such a commander of the screen. So, as Astarion, we have sneak attacks that we can use against our enemies. It's going to give us some bonus damage. We're going to start by firing off a bow shot into the back of this goblin tracker. It connects for 12 damage and takes the enemy down in a single hit. From there, Astarion is going to move forward to the edge of the arena and do a cunning action hide. As long as this guy doesn't turn around, we should be able to stay hidden. Zevlor from the high rope sounds the war horn. This is going to rally all allies in the area. Now, we don't know why these goblins are attacking just yet, but we do know a little something about the tieflings from those context clues that we picked up earlier. They don't seem to be very trusting of my kind, do they? We'll still help them for now, nonetheless. We are going to concentrate on Fairy Fire. We are going to put that on the largest group of goblins and wargs that we can find. Looks like a couple of them did save, but the ones that didn't have these small little, almost like fireflies, dancing above their heads. That's going to make it easier for our allies to land attacks against them. Now, I am concentrating on this spell, which means I'm going to need to protect my concentration. So I'm going to end Dungan's turn just by walking backwards a little bit and trying to get out of line of sight before playing my favorite song. Now, the goblin boss, Zakrug, with his 31 HP, moves forward and hits a critical hit on one of the adventurers here. Will, the Blade of the Frontiers, casts Arms of Hadar to deal 8 damage to the goblin tracker near him. Now, the adventurer moves forward and deals 6 damage to one of the goblins here, nearly killing them. It does seem like the biggest threat here is going to be that goblin boss. We are going to see Lae'zel move forward. She's not going to be able to do too much with this turn, but we will fire off a ranged attack. I'm going to aim for the Booyog, although I do have disadvantage on that. Is that because they are out of range? Okay, fine. I'll aim for the Bugbear instead, directly ahead of us. Unfortunately, our attack does miss, and that's going to end my turn. One of the small goblins does hit Aradin, the adventurer, for a bit of damage. A javelin throw from the Bugbear goes over the rocks, over the head of Lae'zel, and hits Dungen square in the chest. What the heck? I did not see that coming. Lae'zel's going to move forward, and do you think Command would have a good chance of connecting here? Command Grovel is a 60% chance. If we cast that on the Bugbear, we'll be able to do a lot of damage to him. I'm going to try. And it looks like that was successful. Shadowheart's going to end her turn right there. Command does not take a concentration as far as I know. So we are free to do other things with that if we want. Big critical hit on the warg coming out from one of the adventurers that was trying to get into the Druid Grove. Will hits an attack of opportunity on the Booyog as they try to move away. And now this top area is completely covered in grease, making it difficult for my party to traverse. I am going to have Astarion use a sneak attack onto... Oh, we don't have advantage. I could do a cunning action hide, but they see me here. So we're just going to do a regular attack then. Onto the Goblin Caster. Hopefully they cannot spread any more grease near us anytime soon. That's going to do it for Astarion. Now Zevlor up on the top rope fires off a shot of his own onto the Goblin Tracker. Only 3 HP on that target, but he still manages to miss. Now, even though we took damage, we still maintained our concentration, so we don't need to worry about too much. I am afraid that Dungen won't be able to get too many good shots here. So what I'm going to do instead is just sprint, and I'm going to make my way down away from the grease and probably just spend a turn moving around. Again, my goal is to protect his concentration, and that will be very easy to do over there. The Goblin Boss moves towards the adventurer, pinned in the corner by the wall. That is not a very good spot for them to be. They only have 13 health remaining, and I don't think it's going to last very long. Arms of Hadar being cast again by Will as he explodes for damage around him. One of the adventurers finishes off a Goblin Brawler and then action surges for another swing. Camera moving around everywhere. It looks like the archer got herself out of that corner. I'm glad. We're going to fire off a range shot onto the Goblin Tracker again. 5 damage this time. And then I'm going to try to walk over there. That's exactly how I thought that was going to go. Shadowheart is going to shoot a fire bolt or a sacred flame. They both have really crappy chances of hitting. Hey, good damage though. And she is going to move forward. The enemy that was groveling is no longer on the floor. They are back up. The warg hits an adventurer for a little bit of damage. They use a health potion to try to wither that storm. They still have vision of me here because of the bugbear. He's got a lot of HP too. That is scary. I'm going to try to help out the adventurers by the door and hope that they then help me. I also want to fire off on this target because sneak attack, you do bonus damage if you have advantage or if there's allies nearby. So because this warg is surrounded, we have a higher chance of dealing higher damage. With the rest of my turn, I'm just going to try to get off that grease. It looks like we did it. And we will end that right there. Zevlor fires his crossbow down, ending that warg's life. Dungen is going to sprint once again and just make his way around the rock. Maybe hanging out right here. Although he doesn't have his concentration anymore. Oh, no, he does. No, we're good. I just think... Okay. I thought all of the enemies that had it died, but no, the goblin boss is still there. Okay, so we'll still protect it. I don't hate that play. The adventurer in front of the gate takes 2 hits, only 3 HP remaining, and a very weird jump brings the goblin boss forward. Will throws a potion to the adventurer who was just beat up as a club strike lands true on the goblin boss. Another potion getting chugged. She's healthy again, just got 20 HP back in 1 turn. Lae'zel stands back up and she is mad. Can she rush forward? Doubled movement cost on difficult terrain. I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to try. This is a rush attack, so she may not have to move over the grease. Oh, she still has to move over the grease. Nice! She rushes in anyway, dealing damage, and with the rest of her turn, she's going to attempt to push the bugbear back. It does not work. The bugbear jumps into the grease on its own and then lands a massive critical hit on Lae'zel, nearly killing her in a single turn. We are going to use a healing word as our bonus action on Lae'zel to heal her back up. And then take a swing from Shadowheart. 6 damage to the bugbear's back. The adventurers do have this guy surrounded. That should be a very good damage opportunity. I'm going to fire off a sneak attack onto the bugbear. We had allies nearby enabling us to do that. Dungan's going to come around the corner, and I think I want to put this guy to sleep, to be honest with you. But we could also do some hideous laughter, and I think that might be fun. Also, we could just go for an attack. I think at this point, we are in charge of this fight. So let's go ahead and do that. Just fire off a shot up at the bugbear. Unfortunately, it does miss. I believe with archery, if you're on the high ground, you have a better chance of landing shots. So I suppose I shouldn't be too surprised there. Will throws another potion to Rhaenyra, who was already looking pretty healthy with no danger nearby. She fires off an arrow of her own at the bugbear. He is the one remaining enemy now. Lae'zel goes for a swing, action surges, and goes for another. Unfortunately, it does not connect. She tries the push. This time it does work, and he takes 2 damage as the bugbear hits the ground. The bugbear now finds a new target, moves for Rhaenyra once again. And we are going to cast a Sacred Flame of our own, 50% chance to hit. It does for 5 damage. This should be the final turn of combat as Astarion goes for yet another ranged sneak attack. Path is interrupted. Please don't slip. Oh, all right. All right, we did it.
Inside, all of you, more may follow. Open the gate.
Okay, you heard him. Everybody in. I'm going to play a Song of Short Rest really fast, just to top everyone off on HP here. My party's looking pretty good. Goblin and warg bodies just strewn out everywhere in front. No! Open it! Let me in! Let Dungen in! Is this really how I'm gonna be treated? I was helping in the conflict! That's what I thought. Thank you. Thank you. The Emerald Grove.
There are children here, you fool! We was running for our lives. You led them straight to us, and you let them take the Druid too? Unbelievable!
What's unbelievable It's how we beat those goblins. That's so positive. I do like the Duergar option. Are you lads going to settle this, or are you just ranting like a couple of Darrow? I don't know what a Darrow is.
And who the hell are you again?
I'm Dungen.
Show some respect. This man saved your pathetic life.
Well, I didn't ask for any goddamn help.
Please, you were begging me to open the gate. Anything to save yourself, you coward!
Oh, we could try to get involved in here. Either intimidation or persuasion we're both good at. More violence won't bring back those you've lost. Stop and think for a moment. Those are wise words. Dungan's seen things. Let's see if it's good enough. I'm not going to cast Friends, but we will take a guidance from our Shadowheart. We roll a 24.
You're right. There's too much at stake.
Worried about your precious hides, the both of you.
Enough! Squabbling is pointless. The goblins have found us.
At least we agree on that.
More goblins could be on their way.
I wonder what Zevlor has to say.
Parasite than a few goblins. Forgive that display. Aradin's a blowhard, but that's no cause for me to join him. Thank you for your help out there. I'm Zevlor.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Dungen.
Well met. I should warn you, visitors are no longer welcome in this grove.
Why is that?
Whatever your business, I'd see to it quickly. The Druids are forcing everyone out. This attack will only strengthen their resolve.
I won't stay long. I just need to find a healer.
Goblin got you. The Druid Halsin's a renowned healer, but he didn't make it back from Aradin's expedition. If it's not too serious, you could try his apprentice Nettie. She's with the other Druids in the Inner Grove. They've started a ritual to cut the grove off from the world outside. We can't stay, but we'll be slaughtered if we leave. We're no fighters.
And what brought you all here exactly?
We're refugees from Elturel. We took shelter here after gnolls attacked us on the road. We were bound for Baldur's Gate, and it was too late to turn back. Elturel had no place for tieflings after the Descent.
The Descent, an infernal conspiracy that had seen the entire city of Elturel briefly dragged to the Hells.
Well, maybe your people should have stayed in hell. I wonder if I'm just feeling snarky from the tiefling on the road.
It seems you're of a mind with our hosts here, but their ritual will force you out, too.
All right. Thank you for your help. Sorry for that outburst.
Thank you again for your help out there. If you'll excuse me, I'd best get my people moving.
Man, the fire in Zevlor's eyes is so cool. Well, our party has assembled, and we made it to the Druid Grove. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of our run. Things are about to take a very different path than you may be used to in the next episode. Check back again soon. I'll see you guys next time.